Hello and welcome to another episode of In Conversation here on Daily Mirror Online. The movie industry in Sri Lanka has taken a bit of a hit since COVID and of course since the economic crisis. And on the program today I have a well-known movie producer and director, a veteran in the industry, Chandran Rutnam. Chandran, welcome to the program.
Thank you, happy to be here.
So how is the industry right now? I mean, you of course manage film location services. Are you still getting requests to do movie shoots in Sri Lanka?
Well, like everybody else, we took a hit during the COVID. And we did not get any foreign business, but it gave us an opportunity to kind of re-look at the whole situation. Mm-hmm. And I have a very good feeling that this coming year is going to be very prosperous, in the sense people will be coming here to make movies. Now we have 3 movies, our company has got 3 movies set up for...
That's film location services.
Yeah, film location services for January and February, 3 movies. So that's a big thing. And we since we did not have anything for the last 2 years. So apart from that,
give us a bit of a hint.
Huh?
Give us a bit of a hint as to who are these.
Well, no, we have a Tamil movie.
Okay.
Produced by a very good friend of mine who also was the line producer on my film Common Man. And then we have an Australian movie. And then we have a British movie. We have 3 movies. And I have my group of movies that I want to make. Mm-hmm. But I always kind of put that aside when I get a foreign movie because I think that's more important.
Yeah.
So I have a movie that I'm planning to shoot. So in between I'll try and get that in. But I must say that it gave us a chance to look at our industry. Why is it that our industry is not successful? Why is it that all our neighbors are successful? Now, I would say that I would go next door and ask them, hey chum, what are you doing right and what am I doing wrong? Mm-hmm. But we don't seem to worry about it. We are just going according to the old system, which is very depressing. And
don't we often, something that I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, that we tend to copy the script of Tamil movies, of Hindi movies. We've seen some Sinhalese movies that are shot in the same style or same script.
Yeah. Now, when there's a successful movie, there's nothing wrong in making it in our language. Mm-hmm. For instance, I did Common Man. Common Man was done in Hindi called A Wednesday. Okay. So I bought the rights and I changed it to apply to Sri Lanka. Mm-hmm. So I shot it. I redid the script, but with the authority. I paid them for the rights. So Steven Spielberg told me one day during the shoot, he says, if you see something, good movie, don't copy it, steal it. Now the idea is this: when you copy means you're copying what is happening and you're reproducing it.
Right.
That's a no-no. But what he meant by stealing, steal the idea. Get that idea that you just found from another movie and adapt it to a different scenario. Mm. So that is okay because there are only so many stories in the world.
Yeah.
If you really look at it. So it's important. It's important that we don't keep copying things. Take the idea and make your own. But if it is a big hit and you feel that it's going to be a hit in another language, there's nothing wrong in paying for the rights and redoing it. Now, in fact, me and some friends of mine are planning to shoot redo 2 American films. One is called Love in the Afternoon with Gary Cooper and Audrey Hepburn, mm-hmm. and the other one is called Sabrina, also with Audrey Hepburn and William Holden. Now those were the romantic classical movies. So now what we are trying to do is we are negotiating with the American owners, and we will buy the rights and we will redo it in Hindi or Telugu or whatever. But I think we feel that type of story today will work. So there's a big difference between copying and stealing.
Right.
Seeding is not a bad word.
Yeah. But you said that you feel that next year is going to be a good year for the industry.
I truly believe that. I think that, you see, Sri Lanka is in a unique place, unique. And now I'm a guy, I lived in Hollywood for 40 years.
Yeah.
Hollywood is a name, it's a state of mind. Now, in the old days, when we made a movie, we had to go to Chennai or to Mumbai to do the editing, the post-production, the music, and the post-production sound effects and all that. Today, there's no reason to go anywhere. We have the same technology as Chennai, Mumbai, and Hollywood. In fact, Hollywood is behind now, because there's so much advancement. It is a matter of having the technology. Sri Lanka has the technology. So what's the difference? It's Spielberg and one of our directors. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Both have talent, both have the technology. It is whether you get up and do it. It's a matter of not saying, yeah, that's true. It's a matter of getting on with it. We talk too much about it. Let's walk the talk.
Right.
We got to do it. We can do it. And I'm a great fan of making Sri Lanka the film capital of Asia, and it can be done. We have the locations. We have the location of the island. We have the locations within the island, and we have wonderful talent, technicians, cameramen, sound men. We have it all. What are we waiting for? Get on with it. And it is a matter of having the right story and how you film it, and whether it's entertaining. Entertaining is not a bad word.
Right.
In Sri Lanka, they say that is a commercial film and art film. Nonsense.
Yeah.
It's filmmaking is a combination of commercialism and art. They both have to go together. So I think it's going to be. I think we are getting a little wiser, and I think with the new technology, and it's a matter of getting confident.
But are the authorities giving the sort of support that you as a movie director and producer require, and that even artists also require? Because these artists come out often and say that they are not being taken care of by successive governments, no matter whoever is in power.
Why should we take care of artists? There's no reason. Let them take care of themselves. It's a matter of the wrong person for the wrong job.
Right.
The problem with the Sri Lankan film industry is, we are putting people on the board to govern the board who have never owned a cinema, never produced a film, but is an actor or an actress. An actor and an actress, we respect them. They're good at their craft, and we worship them on the screen. But they don't know anything about the industry. So it's a wrong person for the wrong job. I think now we have got wise to it, and we are correcting that, And I think the authorities are aware of that. There was a big story about, there was a movie called Bashtra or something. It was a Hindi movie. I was invited for the premiere, and it was a full house. And also it continued to have full houses. It ran very well. Why? Because it had English subtitles and singular subtitles. Now, I never go to a Hindi movie if I don't have English subtitles.
Right.
I'll watch the song and dance, and then I'm not really thrilled about it. But I enjoyed this movie because I understood what was going on. And the single audience loved it because they came in droves because they understood what the story is about. What do our directors do? Some of our directors, they are saying if you have Sinhalese subtitles, they'll all go to see that movie and they will not see other movie, which is a lot of baloney.
Yeah.
If the product is good, whether it's rain or shine, whether it's Christmas or Easter or what holiday, it does not matter. If a film is good, people will go and see it.
But that has been a criticism for some time, right? That the local movie industry is not getting the sort of attention that needs to be given by, be it cinemas, by others as well. That there's even television for that matter. That it's always on, Hindi movies, always on Hollywood movies, and not.
Listen, first of all, the cinemas have to survive. The cinema is the oxygen for the film industry. So, If they are making money with Hindi movies, let them make money. Let them be able to pay for their air conditioning and whatever. And when we have a good film, they'll take it. But we can't complain and say, oh, they are taking Hindi films and Hollywood films and they're not taking my film. They're not taking my film because it's a lousy movie.
Yeah.
It's a dud. So make a decent film. Make a film that people want to see. And another thing that I don't want to drop names of Steven Spielberg, but then one other thing he said was, always make a movie that you want to see twice.
Yeah.
That's the type of movie you got to make. You got to entertain them and have the audience attention for the 2 hours or whatever. Now, if you go with your wife and the guy says, "Excuse me, I got to go to the washroom," your film is not a good film.
Yeah.
Or shall
It's
I
not keeping them down on his seat.
Shall I get the popsicle for you and walk away? So no, don't complain. Make a good product.
Yeah.
If you make a good product, you can. I said you can compete with the world today. We can compete with the world. There's no excuse, because we have the technology, we have everything, we have the talent. Don't complain that they're not showing your movie. They're not showing your movie because it's not going to make any money. Why should the cinema owner suffer? And then sometimes they use political influence and make it run for another month with nobody there but two lovers in the front seat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's empty cinema. So we got to get wise. Don't complain. Make good product.
You mentioned a very important word there, politics.
Yeah.
Is politics in a way ruining the industry?
Yeah. In politics creeps into our industry. So we have to be smart.
Yeah.
Kick them out. We got to be smart. We must stop complaining.
But you have these actors and actresses who are also now taking on politics, and then suddenly there's, like you said, their movies or some of these movies just drag on and on and on, and you wonder whether it has an audience or not.
So you cannot influence. I will tell you, there was one movie, I won't mention names, there was one movie made, and it was a biography, and after a while, there were the audience was not there. So they pulled the movie. And a minister said, let's take over the industry. Because they pulled the movie. Let's nationalize the industry and control it. Because they pulled out his movie. You see? So these are not very nice things.
Yeah.
And they should not interfere with the arts and entertainment industry. And another thing I must say is, what we provide is entertainment, and sometimes you make what you call an art film that is questionable. If it has got some extreme sexual scenes or something very provocative, and you see, film festivals love that, but film festivals don't provide money.
Yeah.
For the producer, it gives the director the garland and the credential and a piece of metal, and you come home and you're greeted like a king, and the poor producer is going to shoot himself because he can't pay the mortgage. He borrowed the money to make the film. So these are the issues. So we have to look at it in a realistic manner. Lovely to win an award. I have won awards and I love it. I love it. But that should not be the thing. Thing is, art and commerce have to mix.
Right.
And you mix art and commerce and call it entertainment.
Are directors and producers picking some of the good stories, from Sri Lanka itself, because we see, Road to Elephant Pass was a good story there. It was on the war. But there are other stories as well which we can use.
Of course, there are so many stories, and we have young authors now coming out with fantastic books, which have some relationship to Sri Lanka. So we it's up to us. It's up to the creative director to have the vision, and that is important. He's got to select a subject that the people will pay to see, not subject that the jury will vote and give you an award. That's fine. But that's not as important as, because the producer will not make another film after that. Half the producers don't talk to their directors again. That's a true story.
Okay.
They don't. You make a film, the director and the producer are angry. Now think of the producer. He's what you call the angel. You need these angels to continue the business.
Right.
You know.
You came out with a very interesting book recently. Let's talk about your book.
Yes.
What was the story behind it?
It was the 25-year history of my company, Film Location Services, and it is a true story of corruption, greed, and betrayal of the people I worked with. And I mention names and I state facts because we have the wrong conception of certain personalities. You know, actors, for instance, they act. You know, some of them they act from morning till night. You know, for some of them it's a profession. To some of them it is a way of life. Nothing wrong with it. I respect all the actors and actresses. They have talent, but when something goes wrong and you don't behave in a humane way, I think we have to point that out. And my book is controversial. It mentions names and mentions incidents. Now, and there are no lies in the book. If there is a lie and people don't like it, they should take me to court. So nobody's taken me to court, and if they take me to court, wonderful. I'll have more publicity. So come on, guys, do what you want.
I remember there was this incident some time back, right, where in one of the movies you had brought weapons or fake weapons, and somebody went to the police or the military and tried to frame you as well there.
Yes, I am writing my biography, and that chapter is called Jailhouse Rock. And see, I made a film called Road to Elephant Pass. I marketed it. 2 years prior, I had an office. We shot the film. We gave the building back to the owner, and that was it. And we used certain explosives, obviously for the movie, and we had a permit, and we returned the leftovers, and it was done in a legitimate way. 2 years later, somebody frames me and says that I have explosives in my house. First of all, that's not my house. I left it 2 years ago. Anyway, and they made a big deal and they arrested me. And they arrested me on Poya Day. Poya? It was Poya, Vesak, Saturday, Sunday. I very foolishly went to the police station. And now, when they arrest you, you get your lawyer, but he can't bail you out because they are closed. Holidays. There are no judges. So I had a wonderful 4 days. I didn't mind it because I looked around at a very good prison and I saw the lovely sets. Maybe one day I'll come and shoot a movie there. So I did a location recce and all that. The only one that suffered was my poor wife, but then that's also okay because she wanted to lose weight and she lost weight. And then actually they put me there because IFA was in town.
Yes.
And I was supposed to be a speaker. So my competitors did not want me to give that speech. So that's why they framed me. And on Monday when I went to court, it did not take 5 minutes. They said, where are the weapons? Oh, we destroyed them. Case dismissed.
So you have enemies among the competitors?
In this industry there's a lot of jealousy and envy. And well, that is not only in this industry. I think that is something embedded in the Sri Lankan culture. So that's a shame. That's a shame. With a beautiful country,
you can do better instead of trying to compete.
Yeah, exactly. So we must try and change that. We must try and change that. So there are enemies. Yeah. And so I just wrote down what I felt like doing to them and whatever. I'm very open about it.
What does the future hold for Chandran Rutnam as a movie director, producer?
Well, as a movie director, I enjoy being on the set and shooting a movie. That is one of my big highs. and I'm always creative. Like I said, in the morning I get up, I sit down, I write scripts, I just write thoughts, I write autobiography, I'm very busy. My whole thing is this: I spent 40 years in Hollywood. I've had so much exposure to the industry, working in all countries with famous directors and producers. I think it is my duty at my age to share it with the youth of Sri Lanka. So that is my main aim, is to develop the industry. As I said, to build up the industry of Sri Lanka, the film industry in Sri Lanka, as I said, make it the capital of Asia, the film capital of Asia. Now people will laugh at me, saying, "But how can you make Sri Lanka the film capital? There is Mumbai is booming." Yes, but we can also be booming because the technology, as I said, I'm repeating myself, technology is with us. We can't put the blame on technology. No, we don't have this, we have everything. So it's a matter of getting and doing things. So my future is spreading my knowledge among the youth of this country. So we are also involved in a program called Future Minds, or not Future Minds, Future Sri Lankans or something. And we are having a program where we are teaching, we are having a short film competition for people under 25. Now the whole idea is this: when a child is born to a family, the parents are always saying, so you must be a doctor, a lawyer, those days civil servant, or an accountant. Now that's all you're trained for, and as you're growing up, all the institutions are there to accommodate that. But the filmmaking is such a successful industry, and it's such a creative industry, but they don't know about it. So when the young people don't know about it, and as they get older, they say, "I'd like to be a film director," they miss the whole background of it. So they are coming in kind of late. So what we want is, we want to show the children under 20, we are doing a short film competition, so that they learn the film industry. Film industry is not actor and actress and director. The director has a vision, but you can't make a film without a team. So it's a big industry, and there are so many departments to the industry. That means there are so many occupations in the industry, so many careers. I talked to a young man today. He got 3 A's in mathematics and all that, and the father wants him to be something else. And he came to see me and said, "Listen," I said, "What's your passion?" "I want to make films." "So what are you going to do? Make your decision now. You have one life to live. So do what you really enjoy." So we are giving them an opportunity to be exposed to another career. Right. Take it or leave it. You might not want it. How about being a production designer? How about being a special effects man? How about being an animator?
Yeah.
These are not lowly professions. These are very good professions, and they are very important to the industry. So I think that's what we are doing right now. So we're trying to push that.
Since you spoke a bit about technology, just want to ask you about, I see a lot of young people using mobile phones, other sort of, the latest equipment, not the big cameras, the latest, small equipment to make short films and all that. Is that good?
Absolutely. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was about 17, I wrote a script about my father and mother. My mother was a Sinhalese, father was a Tamil, and they were neighbors. They fell in love, and I wrote this story, and I took it to my father, and I said, "Can you give me some money to make this film?" He said, "What are you talking about? Go back to school, become a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant." Big deal was civil servant. They don't use that term anymore, right?
No.
But you remember that,
yes,
right?
Yes, of
Be
course.
a civil servant. Forget it. So anyway, then I went to my uncles. They said, "Well, I'll look at it," and they took the script and put it. I know they never read the script. Nothing happened. So what did I do? I carried it with me for 15 years, that script. Then I went to America, I earned money, came back and made my own film. But that is the old days, when a reel of film, 400 feet negative, was 25,000 rupees. Right? Who is going to invest that money on some young kid's idea?
Yeah.
Right. But now, with this new technology, they can make a short film on their handphone and show their talent. So somebody sees that, hey, this guy's got talent. Now come on, I'll give you the money to make a real film. So I'm impressed by the young people who use the phone to make a short film.
And finally, who would, I mean, I know you probably don't want to drop names, but who would be your best pick as far as, actors or local actresses or, even a director?
Well,
you feel that, can go far or can you make,
you see, we are thinking of mostly domestic ideas and attitudes. We got to get away from that. I'll give you an example. I made a film called Common Man.
Yes.
It was shown all over the world and made millions of dollars. The highest revenue for a Sri Lankan film. And it has, I won't mention who the producers are, but it was never shown in Sri Lanka. But I asked them, why don't you show it in Sri Lanka? Get it. There's no money here. We've already made our money. So, but that's two lessons to learn there. One is there is a market out there. They have done it before. I have done it.
So the producers did not want to show that film here, is it?
They are not interested in the film business.
Okay.
They made their money, they've forgotten. You can buy it now for 80 rupees in Peta. They don't care. But I care. I'm going to try and get the film shown here. Just forget the money.
Yeah.
The whole idea, it's a Sri Lankan film. I would like my friends and my fans and my wonderful audiences to see it. So these are the things that we have to learn. So to answer your question about the film industry, the growth of the film industry, don't think inward, think outward. Even as now, look at what is happening in South Korea. Their films, they've captured the American market because their stories were good. People wanted to watch the stories. So there is stuff in Sri Lanka.
Right.
We just don't do it, and we just keep making the same old things that nobody cares for except the Sri Lankans. And even that, they spend so much money, and very few films have really made money in Sri Lanka. And we are good liars. You ask the guy producer how much, film made a lot of money. It didn't. So we are kidding ourselves, and we are more interested in saying, don't show those films, only show our duds. Why should the theatre owner suffer?
Yeah.
And another thing is, more people that go to cinema going is a habit. So more people that go and see a Hindi film, they'll see the local film.
But has there been a drop in the number of people going to cinemas with, like, say, with Netflix and other options available now?
Listen, there are two different ball games. You can never take the feeling of going to a cinema in a theatre with your girlfriend or your wife or your family and watching a movie with other people, laughing with other people, whatever, reacting. That is a different experience. That will never go away. And we should not try to kill it by killing all the cinema owners. It is that's why I said that's the oxygen of the industry. You got to encourage them. Show Hindi films, pay your bills, and then show our film also.
Yeah.
And they will take a look at the singular film and say, oh, I like that. Let me put it. Or he might see it and say, I don't want to show this. It will not. It won't please the audience. It won't bring in the audience. So it's up to the cinema owner to decide. It's his shop. He's got to decide what he puts on his shelf. You cannot dictate to him. So these are there are some rules and regulations. I don't know what they are, but we got to get rid of it and get real for a while.
It was really nice having you on the program, Chandran Rutnam. Thank you for joining us here on Daily Mirror for In Conversation.
Thank you very much for having me.
So that's all the time we have for you for In Conversation for this week. Till next time, stay safe.